climbing, I'm losing my grip. Storage costs rising, they'll never let me skip. Refunds I'm eating, returns pile up too. Oh, Amazon, what else will you do? I look at my dashboard, my profits erased. My margins are gone, it's a slap in the face. Prime Day's a promise, but it's such a race. How much will I make if I'm replaced? It's a cruel, cruel number. Fees keep climbing, profits torn asunder. Oh, it's cruel, the sellers wonder how to survive when the margins go under. It's a cruel, cruel number. Every month it's something new to plunder. Oh, it's cruel, it's no wonder we're stuck in this game. The algorithm's fun.
Yo, Amazon's back, and they got a new scheme. Reimbursement slashed, it's every seller's dream. They're digging deep, taking more from the pot. Let's break it all down, expose what they got. March 25, it's a policy drop. They say manufacturing costs, but we know it's a flop. Give us your cogs, they're demanding the price. But if you don't, they'll estimate nice. Nice for them, not for you. Watch a payout shrink. That comprehensive evil is a corporate wing. Lost in the warehouse, damaged on the floor. Now they pay you pennies, not a cent more. Fees on the rise, profits on the run. They don't lift a finger, but they pocket the fun. We're fair! They shout while they cut our shares. Amazon math, man, it's full of errors. Fees, taking our dough. They're stacking the deck, and it's sellers who owe. Reimbursements? Nah, they're taking us down, but we're still here, we don't mess around. Fees, straight to the top. Amazon's game, it'll never stop. Margins tight, but we keep the grind. Sellers unite, we're one of a kind.
I try to sell my product on Amazon, thought it'd be a breeze. But little did I know I'd be stuck with seller support disease. They never seem to solve my problems, just give me the run around. I'm tired of waiting on hold. My patience is wearing thin, I'll never be found. Amazon seller support, you suck, you suck, you suck. Can't get no satisfaction. I'm out of luck, out of luck, out of luck. You don't care about my business, just trying to make a buck. Amazon seller support, you suck, you suck, you suck.
This one's for the sellers on the grind, getting left on red, wasting all their time. I hit up support, got an auto reply. Thanks for your patience, man, I wanna cry. Inventory lost, my margins are toast. The reps playing tag like the Casper the Ghost. They pass me around, it's a never-ending game. Nobody takes action, everybody shifts blame. My ASIN's down, I'm out of the race. They say they'll escalate, yo, what a disgrace. Amazon seller support, you're breaking my heart. No answers, no fixes, just tearing me apart. Hours in the queue, stuck in the dark. Amazon seller support, you're missing the mark.
Amazon game plan, that is the key. Seller central dashboard, that's where I be. Analyze the funnel, see what we lack, then we optimize. Sellers know it's a fact. I get it poppin', you know that it's lit. Climbing the rankings, ain't no room to quit. I check the data, they notice the stats. I keep the method, that's how you adapt. Metrics are showing, you know it's our cap. Amazon sellers, it's time to react. I'm about that action, I do this with passion. I got them like, whoa, what is this? Huh, whoa.
I don't know, dude. I think everybody's just buying stuff based on reviews and badges or whatever. They don't even know who we are. These customers don't even know the name of my brand. But they keep clicking add to cart like it's part of the plan. They see that Amazon badge and think it's all grand. But yo, they don't even know the name of my brand.
Click, scroll, build your store. Amazon's waiting, what you waiting for? Brand it loud, make it shine. Steven's here to drop the rhyme. Blue tiles, banners, plug and play. Your storefront's live, let's sell a day. Now listen up, I'm Steven Pope. Amazon guru, I'll help you cope. Step 1, get that trademark stamped. Without brand registry, your Amazon cramped. Head to Seller Central, log in quick. Manage stores tab, yeah, that's the trick. Upload your logo, flex that style. You're about to make Jeff Bezos smile. Where pick a template, marquee or grid. Drop your tiles like a branding whiz. Hero image, big and bold. This store's gonna glitter like digital gold. Scroll, build your store. Amazon's waiting, what you waiting for? Brand it loud, make it shine. Steven's here to drop the rhyme. Blue tiles, banners, plug and play. Your storefront's live, let's sell today. Yo. In the trenches of the Amazon game, trying to survive while it's driving me insane. Nobody warns you, they just claim it's passive income. Nah, it's pain. I'm sitting at a birthday, laughing, chilling, next to a newbie Amazon seller spilling. She's like, Prime so smooth, it's a killer. Then tried to sell, now she's stuck in a thriller. Finding products, yeah, that's the first grind. Scrolling Alibaba, losing my mind. Samples suck, manufacturers decline. I'm like, dang, how's anyone doing this fine? Ship it in, pay for the bubble wrap, but they ship glass bottles in padded crap. Now I got hot sauce leaks, refund stacked, customers pissed. Man, I'm under attack. Amazon's a beast, it's a fight, no peace. From SEO to PPC, the hustle don't cease. Think it's passive? Nah, you better increase your tolerance for chaos or face defeat. Trademark wars, brand registry's a scam. They banned my brand, now I'm in a jam. Listings yanked, products ranked and tanked. Lost dogs in the catalog, my account shanked. Now let's talk ads, it's a rabbit hole. 1,000 hours deep, man, it's taking my soul. Weekly negations, bulk sheets for control. Excel's my new weapon, but it's taking its toll. SEO's no joke, keywords in the game. Alt text, A+ content, playing insane. Lifestyle shots, avatars for fame, but the CTR's low, all products look the same. Amazon's a beast, it's a fight, no peace. From SEO to PPC, from SEO to PPC, the hustle don't cease. Think it's passive? Nah, you better increase your tolerance for chaos or face defeat.
Let's go to Mac School. To Mac School. Class is now in session with Professor Pope.
They got the SOP, cause Professor Pope wrote the recipe. Helping Amazon sellers grow sales exponentially. Amazon's a jungle, but we map the strategy. Brand strategist playbook, it's a guide to victory. Troubleshooting catalogs, you know we got the answer key. Boosting all your rankings, turning sales into a legacy. SOB so deep, you think we studied at Mac School. Every step we follow leads to growth, yeah, it's a golden rule. Stuck on keywords, we'll find the ones that work the best. Using helium-10, strike distance keywords past the test. Incremental indexing ensures the listing set to rise. From the back end to the bullets, optimization hits the skies. Brand store creation, yeah, we make it shine and flow. A+ content design makes conversions overflow. Need your images on point, best practices in the plan. Alt text and photo rules ensure your visuals command. SEO meets PPC, it's balanced, every step aligned. We'll construct the MKLs that drive rankings over time. Budget caps and bid adjustments, no more wasted spending. Segmentation builds campaigns that sellers can defend. Got a hijacker, no problem, we'll file to take them down. Review requests in action, 5-star ratings come around. Flat file updates, market share reports, it's all in reach. Professor Pope wrote the SOP so sellers learn and teach.
Meanwhile, my Amazon guys on the case, fixing up my problems at lightning pace. Ticket escalations, Mag's the boss. Even Amazon says we'll take the loss. Seller support don't know what's up. Passing the buck when the issue gets tough. They're the official team, but they can't comply. So they say, reach out to my Amazon guy. They're supposed to be the pros, but they can't decode policies and tools from their own damn road. I'm paying fees, yet they bring me stress. But Mag turns my chaos into pure success. Seller support reps, they throwing shade, but then admit, yo, Mag will get you paid. Third-party agency taking the throne while Amazon fumbles in their own damn zone. Seller support don't know what's up. Passing the buck when the issue gets tough. They're the official team, but they can't comply. So they say, reach out to my Amazon guy. So here's the truth, let's keep it real. Mag's the team with the pro-level skill. Amazon sellers, you know the vibe when support says call Mag. They'll give you peace of mind. Amazon seller support, you can suck my image stack. Sucking is all you're good at anyway. Bezos, hit me up if you want to sell seller support. I'm buying. There's a chase. Peace.
Hello and welcome to the My Amazon Guy Friday Live Q&A. My name is Noah Wickham. I'm sales director here at My Amazon Guy, and I am in a new location today. I'm actually on a trip right now, so figured I would still come in and give you guys all of the questions and answers that you typically are looking for. So that being said, without further ado, let's hop into it. Bit of a weird background, I know, but we're gonna get into it today, and we're still gonna answer all the questions. So without further ado. Hello, sir. I have trouble adding debit method in the payment information. I'm stuck in the screen like for your security approved notification. Okay, so anytime that you're having issues adding any type of payment information or updating any type of account information on Amazon, first and foremost, ensure the fact that you actually are going through the proper channel, right? So that firstly means going to performance notifications, ensuring that you actually are going and doing the performance notification that you have. And then secondarily from that as well, the big aspect that you want to try and make sure that you're actually attaching the card and adding it in on the back end. And what I mean by the back end is specifically adding it into the actual credit and payment methods. Once you have it add in there, you should have the ability to go ahead and actually change it over to that one and delete out the old payment method. So hopefully that helps. And if you have any other issues or anything, let us know. Let's see here for the next question. I'm just going to take these headphones out, unless maybe I can't. I can't take headphones out. All good. It just sounds really weird with them in. Do you think Chinese manufacturers are using de minimis loophole to avoid tariffs being shipped to Amazon by constantly shipping goods valued under $800 on separate shipping plans to avoid duty fees? Because now these loopholes will end in May, so I'm wondering if these strategies will reduce the amount of Chinese sellers on Amazon. Because do you think they will be subject to being on the same playing field as the rest of us? I don't think that on Amazon they have been using that loophole. That loophole, yes, has been used for sites like Temu. I'm sure it was used for like Haul, for instance, for any sellers that are on the Haul platform. But I don't believe that that's how they're doing Amazon. I think genuinely they just have a lot of backing and they're okay not making all that much of a profit. At the end of the day, the real thing that would probably solve a lot of the Chinese sellers' issues is if when we send payment back to in any form of currency exchange, you get the equal amount for that specific currency. That's the only real thing that would ever actually change the Chinese sellers' issues. Now, the thing is, with all of the tariffs, they are likely still going to be subject to the exact same tariffs at the end of the day. So they're likely still going to have to raise their prices as well. So that is something to consider. Rosina, hi Noah, hope you are doing well. I am. Like I said, I'm in a cabin up north. I'm hanging out, so not the best background in the world, not the most professional, but still gonna answer some questions for you guys today. Variation listings apparel typically show parent listings bullet points, but would they still contribute to the listings SEO if different bullet points are entered in variations? Yes. So the way that SEO works is that it is on a singular ASIN level. So your SEO indexing and ranking is on a singular ASIN level. That being said, when you have, let's say, an entire 5-10 products in parentage, each one of those different products can have their own indexing and ranking, but they will also at the same time still essentially parent them together, right? So they'll carry over that indexing and ranking from their different variations into the parentage and show as a whole on the parentage. Now, if you separate any one of those out, they will still just have their own ranking. They don't get to still have the parentage ranking or indexing when they're broken out from the parentage. Good question. We have Olga. How well does Amazon Career Connections program work for driving sales of candy through influencer marketing? I'm up in the air on it. So Career Connections is a decent, and I say decent very truly, is a decent program. That being said, if you're truly trying to drive sales through influencer marketing, there's a million different companies, a million different softwares out there that do it so much better than Career Connections. Career Connections can be really, really good given the time of year. If you get on, let's say, like a BuzzFeed, ranking article, that does really, really well. But outside of that, realistically, your time is better spent trying to pay an actual influencer to be able to do that type of stuff. Is there a way to see how many units were sold through ads specifically to B2B customers? Yes. So if you go to just your Seller Central dashboard, you can, on the top left, go click the little button, go all the way down, and there is a little section that's for business. And you can click the business, and that will show you specifically your B2B customers and your B2C. Now, seeing it through ads specifically, I'm not positive on that one. I guess I could look. But I'm pretty positive the only way you realistically can see business sales is in the business section. So I would go there and check that, and that'll give you a good idea of where you're at. Clicks and no sale. Do you know when this versus actual clicks and no sale? It's not really it's not really a question, I guess. But what I think you're asking here, Roche, is you're essentially asking what to do. Like, when is it that you're getting clicks but no sale? And the answer there a lot of times just comes down to relevancy, right? So if you are getting clicks, it's because you have a semi-relevant product. I see this a lot of times when people do a bundle of some kind. So they have like two products in one, and one of the products is what people want, but they would never pay the bundle pricing for that singular product. So you'll get a lot of times that click, but you won't get a sale. Can adding a new or underperforming product to a comparison table with a bestseller at bestsellers page help drive more traffic to that product? Yes. So a lot of times this kind of what we consider to be hero product, right? So it's not going to help drive more traffic from the comparison table. I mean, it will. You do tend to have a higher average order value when you do comparison tables in general, but a lot of times this is what we would kind of consider to be a way of just doing cross-sale promotion, right? So another aspect that you could look at is just parenting them together if possible, and hoping that the hero product can help boost up the underperformer. Is it possible to see exactly which products were purchased as a result of a display ad? The purchased products report for display campaigns shows 0, but the campaign summary shows $2,000 in sales. Yeah, so a couple of things to notice. This is essentially attribution. So if you're seeing the purchase product showing 0, I would go and first and foremost, there is a section in your advertising where you can just look at products, and then products will show you there. Now, that being said, from the display side, you should also have some targeting in there to actually show what it is people are purchasing. But unfortunately, there's not like an easy report that will just show you everything that people purchase directly from it. And that's because display, again, works off of attribution more than anything else. Let's see. I can't click this. There we go. Reimburse. I would like to company my ad spend year over year. Oh, compare my ad spend year over year, but I can't see my ad spend more than a few months back. Is there a way to find this information? Yeah, so the actual ad spend or the ads dashboard only shows a 90-day window. That being said, you can pull this report from the actual advertising reports section, and you can pull campaign level reports up to 24 months back. So that's what you're going to end up having to do is actually pull the reports. You're not going to get it in nice little dashboard, but you will get the information if you go directly to your advertising reports section and pull the report specifically for that time frame. At what point in your business is it better to do 3PL versus using Amazon FBA to save costs? It's not. So FBA, it's more than just the aspect of the only time 3PL, in my opinion, is useful is if you're doing FBM already, right? So if you're already doing FBM and you're looking to try and, have it be a better use, I would just use a 3PL, right? But the point of FBA is not to just have your products fulfilled. It's also a conversion driver. So that little Prime badge that you get next to your products, that's a really, really big conversion driver, right? So you want to make sure that you're still using FBA. It's not something that I would say use a 3PL versus FBA. The only time I would say it is maybe for like really heavy products. So the only time that 3PLs are really useful is for usually more expensive, higher ticket items that are very, very heavy. Outside of that, usually it's just going to be better to use FBA. Do I need to register for VAT if I'm selling US or if I'm in the US selling in the UK? Yes. Yes, you do. So VAT is essentially the EIN of the UK, and then you also need one for the EU as well. So if you are selling outside of the US, yeah, you have to get a VAT number. Can you explain SPF? I think what you mean is SFP. How do you qualify to get Prime with shipping it out yourself? Okay, so you have to actually apply for SFP, Seller Fulfilled Prime, for those that are uninitiated. How do you get in? How do you stay with it? Well, a couple of different ways. The big thing is I'm not a huge fan of Seller Fulfilled Prime. You can, Roichi, work with 3PLs who do Seller Fulfilled Prime. The issue is that usually Seller Fulfilled Prime is more expensive than just doing FBA. So that's first and foremost. The secondary aspect to that is that Seller Fulfilled Prime has so many metrics you have to hit. So all of those metrics that you have to hit under your account health for FBM, imagine those, but it's just way more annoying and you have to be way more stringent with it, right? So if you have, let's say, 100 orders going out and 3 of them are late, you just lose your SFP. So it's not my favorite, system in the world. It's not my favorite thing. Some people do it really, really well, and they can because they have warehouses all over, or they just eat the cost, right? Or they work with a 3PL that has warehouses all over. And that's awesome. I don't like it because realistically speaking, it's just easier at the end of the day to do FBA. How can I join my Amazon Guy teams? You can join by going to myamazonguy.com/jobs. We are constantly hiring, so if you guys are looking at any point in time, feel free to go and apply over there. We take people even without experience, and we will train them up and teach you everything that we know. You skipped the first question above Click's question. Did I? I'm not seeing the first question there. If it was above the Clicks one, Richie. It was a continuation from the question above it. Yeah, I'm not seeing that one, Richie. Unfortunately, if you can throw that back in, I'll answer it though. Is it possible to remove phone number in the seller account and opt in either using email and Authenticator? Yeah, so on all of our accounts, we don't actually use a phone number. So you have to have one at one point in time, but we use Authenticator for all of ours. We use a Authenticator app through a password generation, 1Password. So it changes every 30 seconds for the Authenticator code like it's supposed to. And yeah, so that's how we do ours. Hey Noah, when launching a new product, and launching an auto campaign for it, shall we make a new auto campaign for each new product or just add the product to the existing auto campaign? Thanks. You can do it both ways. Personally speaking, I like to launch a new auto campaign specific for the product, and then over time you can add it in with the other auto campaigns as well. This is simply so that you can also do gold panning for new keywords for that product specifically. So I would launch an auto campaign specific for that product just for that aspect alone. I have a question about launching too. Okay. If you want to throw it in, I will answer it. Can you explain the keywords that are using for ranking but not ranked? What's the reason for it and how to fix it? So ranking all comes down to sales velocity at the end of the day. So if you're not ranking for a keyword, you have to obviously have it in your copy. You have to be advertising against it. And that's how you essentially focus and do the or get the aspect of ranking. So ranking is anything below 500. I would check first if you're indexed for it, because that's obviously the first step behind ranking. Let's see here, Touchstone. By mistake, I sent inventory to FBA under an old ASIN. New and old ASINs are almost identical, so now I have inventory under 2 competing ASINs. Amazon is asking if these are the same product. What will they do if I say yes? Will they merge? Risks. Yes, they will merge. They will likely merge the listing together, both them together. The risk here is that you may lose reviews on one or both of the areas. You may also run the risk of losing any sales velocity and history as well. So merges have to be done in a very specific way where you essentially ask Amazon to merge specific data and keep other data on listings. There is the chance, obviously, that they merge everything together perfectly. You get to keep the reviews of both, and it's a happy world. But unfortunately, that's usually not the case because they just do it wrong. So that's the big risk. At the end of the day, what you could do is you could ask them to do a relabel, or you could just pull the inventory out. Those are kind of also big aspects. But if it's not the same listing, that's where you will run into issues. You could be very specific, though, with them and tell them exactly what it is you want merged between the two listings. Let's see. When launching a new product in a very small niche, $100,000 niche, how would you allocate your PPC spend between different match types and campaigns? I would focus very, very heavily on exact campaigns. So if you're in a niche that is that small, it typically means that it's very, very, I guess pointed is the best word, right? So people are going to be searching very specific things for that niche, right? They're going to be looking for very, very specific keywords. They're going to be looking for a very, very specific type of product, right? So I would be very heavily invested in exact campaigns simply because broad and phrase, you're likely to get a lot of impressions and potential clicks that are not going to do much for you, especially if it's a product that someone who's searching for it knows that they're searching for it. Let's see. Water first. All of a sudden, I got 5 negative reviews. Then all of a sudden, I got Amazon's Choice. What is happening? Is a competitor doing this? We are very new sellers. So the idea of getting 5 negative reviews, yeah, that's just kind of selling on Amazon, especially when you first launch your product. If you're getting Amazon's Choice, it means that people are rating your product highly, mostly, and on top of that, you are getting a lot of sales velocity. So Amazon's Choice comes from a product having really good sales velocity, having really good reviews, and it being a well-liked product, I guess is the best way to put it. So low return velocity as well. I hope you are doing well. I am. I have a question regarding keyword cannibalization. If our product ranks organically at the top position, and we also have a sponsored brand ad and a sponsored product ad for the same keyword, how should we approach bidding? Should we consider reducing the bid on this specific keyword to avoid potential cannibalization? Yeah. So what I like doing is I like to focus on rest of search, and I like to focus on product pages when I'm already ranked 1 organically. The reason for this is that people are going to see you right away at the top anyhow, right? So you're either going to spend money where you likely will have already gotten the click, or secondarily to that, you're essentially going to get the sale regardless, right? So the purpose of doing rest of search and product pages is that if they've already scrolled past you, it gives you a chance essentially to try and still get the sale there. Let's see. I got a negative review on my product, but I cannot see the customer review. What's going on, Noah? Here, Noah. So if you got a negative review, but you can't see the customer review, there is 2 scenarios. One is that the product review just isn't actually there. 2, it breaks Amazon's term of service. 3, even though I said there's only 2 scenarios here. The third scenario, though, would be that they deleted the review. So I would check on the back end. You should be able to see the feedback that you get. Secondarily to that, I would check on an Amazon account or just log into Amazon on like a incognito browser and see if you can see it not as a seller, but as a buyer. Hey Noah, hope you're doing well. I am. We have a product with variations of 3. Our ACOS is much too high, whatever. Suggest me any tips to reduce ACOS and boost sales. So anytime I ever see high ACOS, my very first inclination is you're not doing enough negations. So first and foremost, if you're not doing enough negations, go do negations right now. Right now. The number one thing that people are afraid of when they are doing any type of advertising is negations. So people think that negating keywords, they're going to immediately just tank their sales. That's not really the case. Most of the time, whenever people are, negating, you should never be afraid of negating a bad keyword, right? So that would be my first tip there. Secondarily, check your relevancy. Ensure that you actually are targeting relevant keywords. You're targeting relevant, products. If you're doing a competing products or doing a competition targeting, but those are kind of the basics to really start with. But negations 9 times out of 10 is the answer here. Let's see. This was just an add-on to Asif before. I use MCF on TikTok. My first order took 5-6 days to ship out. But you mentioned doing buy Prime. Does that option make product ship faster? So buy with Prime you can't do it through TikTok. So you cannot have someone purchase a product through TikTok and then have it be buy with Prime. So buy with Prime makes it so someone is buying the product through Amazon. You can only do it through TikTok advertising. So essentially you would be creating an ad on TikTok for your Amazon product and would be doing it through buy with Prime. The MCF, that's about typical. MCF is pretty slow as far as the number of days it takes to ship out. How do you know when it's this versus actual clicks and no sales? Is this in regards to the question earlier? So you don't is the unfortunate part. So what I would do is I would also look at your SQP data, and that'll give you a good reference point as far as what it is people are searching for and clicking on. But if it's just an ads only type situation, then it just sounds like a lack of relevancy, unfortunately. So difference in deleting or editing ASINs using flat files versus in edit user interface. I wouldn't. I hate Amazon's user interface for doing anything listing related, anything product related at all. It's abysmal. Honestly, it is abysmal. It doesn't take all the time. Anytime I am doing any form of edit to a listing, 9 times out of 10, I am going to be doing it using flat files. The reason is that Amazon has a spaghetti code backend system that it doesn't work, right? And so a lot of their edits don't take, it doesn't update correctly. You have to do it 5-10 times. So flat files though, push it directly to the front. So I just always do flat files. Which keyword are good to target to reduce ACOS, exact, broad, or phrase? And let me know some bidding strategies like cost per click. Cost per click is $1.20 for exact, broad, and phrase. So in which we high the bids, which type low. So exact is likely always going to be the most expensive at the end of the day. So because you are targeting exact keyword, right? So it's always going to be the most expensive. That being said, if you're trying to reduce ACOS, I would do broad. So broad campaigns are really, really effective, and they're usually going to be lower ACOS. But that's only if you know how to do negations really, really well, because broad campaigns can be also very, very high ACOS if you're not doing negations on them at all. So you really need to have the ability and the know-how to do negations. Never be afraid to negate a bad keyword. And broad campaigns, if you can do negations well, will be a very, very fruitful type of campaign for you. Can you share best practices for using alt text? How should we add search terms and Spanish keywords? Yeah, so I mean, the best way to go about it is use Spanish keywords, right? So whatever your top primary keywords, high relevancy keywords are, look those up in Spanish and use those terms in your alt text. Now, secondarily to that, those same top search terms, go ahead and essentially figure out what misspellings there are for them. Do this by looking at search volume and relevancy for those. So you should always essentially use alt text in a way to add keywords in that you want to index for that have search volume. I guess the best way to put it, you always want to use alt text to try and just increase your overall indexing of keywords you wouldn't normally put inside your listing. I think that's the best way to phrase it. And so that's where I would start. You can also do something like use Helium Temps Frankenstein to be able to look up those kind of keywords. So start there. We have fixed budget per campaign, $10. So in the campaign, if we create 2 ad groups for exact and second for broad, is that work properly, or we avoid to add both matches in same campaigns? So I personally don't like doing more than 1 ad group per campaign. That's just a personal preference at the end of the day. I find that you end up not doing as specific targeting as you really should, right? So it's very infrequent that you would want to be doing like top of search placement, for instance, for both the exact and the broad, right? And doing that in the exact same way of how you're doing that bid placement. So realistically, what I would tell you is if you have a $10 budget, split it 5 and 5, create 2 campaigns with 2 ad groups. I don't usually like to do more than, like I said, 1 ad group per campaign. Let's see. I'm trying to index for one of the function on. The text is so tiny on my screen today, guys, because I'm on a laptop and it's just the tiniest, dinkiest thing. I'm trying to index for one of the function on one of my variation using alt text, description, title, image, and separate PPC for those keywords. But having a hard time, conversions on PPC, got those. I'm assuming there's a secondary. There is. Keywords, even though reviews mention is great to use those for those functions. So what kind of sounds like here, which is essentially you're having a hard time on the PPC side getting relevancy, even though people are saying, hey, I love it for this. What I would typically say in this kind of capacity is there are times in which you can have a very, very relevant keyword, but that keyword also tends to have a lot of, I guess, click-through and window shoppers is the best way to look at it, right? So you'll have a lot of click-through. You're not getting any sales off that keyword. And you're not getting any conversions, but that keyword is still relevant. This is a great scenario in which I typically would say go for phrase match only on it. So if you're doing exact match on those type of keywords, don't go for phrase match, and that will open up a little bit more of an avenue for those keywords as to what people are searching, right? So it's less likely that someone who's looking for something very, very specific, very niche is going to end up going after them, essentially. We're running into a lot of issues lately with people increasing their prices due to the tariffs, okay? And then losing the buy box because they don't have a list price set, and then triggering high price alert in the pricing house. Is there anything else they need to do besides saying the list price higher? Is min and max price necessary? Any other advice around price increases? Yeah, so you don't have to have a min, you don't have to have a max, you don't have to have the list price. So the only thing when it comes to increasing prices due to tariffs is you have to do it small increases very frequently, right? So never increase more than 8 to 10%, preferably if you can, only to 3 to 5% once per week. So anytime you get a high pricing error, the entire reason you're getting that high pricing error is because you have raised it up too far above what the average selling price of that product is. So what you're trying to do is slowly raise it very frequently in line with your average selling price increasing as well. So that's the only real way to avoid this, Micah, unfortunately. A little more water. Look how cool this cup is, by the way. I have two variations, one for boys and one for girls. I'm in the fashion category, so Amazon told me the title has to be shared. Okay. Title is very important for SEO, obviously, and if they share the title, there it is, then in the title it will include boys and girls keywords. In this situation, is it possible that the products end up indexing for the wrong gender? For example, boys products index for girl. Technically, yeah. So again, parentages share the indexing and ranking, but it's only shared because the variations are together in the parent. Now, that being said, what I really would do here, if you're having this kind of issue, is I would just not parent them together. Seems like the bad choice, obviously, from a sales perspective, a review perspective, all of that. But honestly, if you're having this many issues already, especially if they're very specific for boy versus girl, and that's not very obvious within the listing design, I would not have them in the same parentage, unfortunately. So that's the real answer here, Zane. But if you need to have them in there, the only thing that you really can do is make sure that the variation title is very specific as to which one is which. Hey Noah, can we manually do budget day parting via bulk files? Like setting low budget early in the day, low conversion, and increasing later. Any way to automate this without costly PPC tools? Yeah, so you can do it via bulk files. The big thing that I would like to warn you about is the way that Amazon day parting works is it does not work in the sense where you can like lower your budget during a certain time and then raise it another time. You can only ever raise it. So you're essentially stuck with the idea of setting a really, really low budget for the entirety of the day and then doing specific increases for a specific time of the day. And that's the only way. But yes, you can do that through bulk files. So, that makes the life a little bit easier, I suppose. Thanks for creating this awesome channel. You guys have helped me a lot. You're very welcome. I love being able to give you guys some content, be able to educate and provide answers. Hey Noah, me and my team have a product that is top seller in a niche. We might have a situation of stockouts in the coming days. Do you think it's smart to wait? It's a smart move to wait and see if prices come down. If you're going to have a stock out in the next few days, no. So the only thing worse than increasing prices, which is going to hurt conversion at the end of the day, and if you're already a top seller, you're probably not going to have too many issues with that. But the only thing that's worse than that is stocking out, unfortunately. So yeah, this is one of those tough decisions with the tariffs, especially with what I've been saying lately. If you can wait, you should, but this is one of those situations where unfortunately it sounds like you realistically just can't wait. So I would in fact push inventory if possible, and like I said, small and frequent price increases so you don't lose buy box, and you can really test your conversion and know essentially at which price point your conversion starts to drop down. Touchstone. If Chinese company registered our U.S. trademark brand name in China, will that impact our ability to manufacture in China? I don't think so. I'm not positive. I should say I'm not a trademark lawyer. Unfortunately, I know quite a bit about trademarks, but I am not a patent or trademark lawyer, unfortunately. So I don't believe so. If they registered your trademarked brand name in China, I mean, you're just manufacturing it, right? So the only thing that could happen is potentially you just can't have your brand name on the packaging, but I don't know why that would even get to the people, right? So why would your manufacturer tell the people that registered that U.S. trademark brand name? Let's see. Wait, how did you say we can find reviews that are not showing up on our reviews? It's not a it's not a way to find them, but if you're having a hard time finding a review that you can't see when you're looking at it from like a seller perspective, open up an incognito browser and check to see if the review is actually there. That's the only real thing that you can do at the end of the day, right? So to see if it's an actual review or not. My question is, if I am launching a product on Amazon, tell me the best campaign strategy to get ranked on the keywords. Every week, without fail, guys, every week without fail, someone asks me about product launch PPC, and I don't even know how many videos on it at this point, and it still gets asked. I don't even know why I make the videos. So here is my favorite PPC strategy when I am initially starting to rank. First and foremost, I am going to go after and find my top 10 competitors. And I'm going to create a competitor campaign first and foremost. Secondarily, I'm also going to launch an auto campaign with my product so I can start immediately getting sales generating from that, plus also do gold panning with it as well. I also am going to set up at least 2 exact campaigns with my top 10 high relevancy keywords. I'm also going to set up a phrase campaign and a broad campaign. The big thing I want to preface here is this all depends on what your budget is for launching when it comes to advertising. Because if you have a, I don't know, $10 a day budget, you can't do what I just said. And your best bet is to just do auto campaigns and exact campaigns. If you have a, I don't know, $5,000 a day budget, right, which would be insane, but you could, and I would do a lot more than what I'm talking about. Instead, probably quadruple everything. I launched a new product. Which strategy that I chose for it to focus on ranking and conversion? Literally what I just said for the PPC stuff. How do I go about figuring out my storage capacity, and what do we do if we need more? So Amazon will show your storage capacity. It's no longer based on units. So it used to be a unit-based thing where you could only send in so many units, and now it's a space-based thing. So you can just go to your fulfillment and in the fulfillment section, actually it's technically inventory section now, but either way. So in the inventory section, there is a little drop down for just FBA dashboard, and in the FBA dashboard it will show you what your allotment is of how much you've used. You can always pay Amazon for more space if you need, but if that's the only real thing, right? Or you could send inventory into AWD, which would be probably the better move than paying Amazon. Well, you're still paying Amazon, I should say, but why aren't my questions visible in the chat? Couldn't tell you. I don't know. This is the first one I've seen, unfortunately. Let's see. Rochi. What exactly does Frankenstein on helium do, and when is it best utilized? So, could do an entire video on this, why I will tell you as best advice. On YouTube, Helium 10 has a channel, and they go through every single one of their tools. So literally just search Helium 10 Frankenstein, and it will give a way better in-depth explanation of using the tool than I ever could, probably. The best way to talk about it is that Frankenstein is essentially a keyword checker that helps with analyzing your SEO for like pink keywords, for instance. My supplier told me that tariffs will not affect my order. Okay. Are they just lying to me, or is there some sort of exemption at ports if you placed the orders months ago? No, this is this is a huge misconception and thing that's going around, and I don't know where it started. And it may just be that manufacturers are lying about it, but no, it is in effect right now. If your product lands at the U.S. border tomorrow, it will be hit with a tariff. U.S. Customs does not care about the fact that you placed the order 8 months ago and it just arrived, right? They care about the fact that there is now an import coming into the U.S. So you pay tariffs when product is brought into the U.S. through customs. That is when you pay the tariff, right? You're not paying your tariff to your manufacturer. So that's a big thing, and it kind of sounds like they're lying to you, Mark, or they're just ignorant of it, unfortunately. Can we create backlinks for our Amazon store? Yeah, technically. I mean, so the backlinks are just, I guess, what purpose would you be trying to use the backlinks for is the only question I would have to you. I'm unable to put the limited time deal, the red badge offer, in my ASIN. It's not available in the deal section. Any tips on how I can unlock it? Oh, I hate this one. You have to submit to seller support and ask for access to it. So not every deal is immediately available, and it's not immediately available for every ASIN. So unfortunately, you have to ask Amazon to open it up. And there's a likely chance that they're just going to say, hey, kick rocks, unfortunately. So there's not really a easy solution to this one. So that's going to be the best route that you can go. Here we go, Jan. It's coming through now. I placed an order with a Chinese supplier with a 15 by 85% payment term. Okay, at the moment, the goods are shipped. I can't ship them now and need to wait until the customs duties return to normal. So should I agree to pay the 85% now, even though the goods haven't been shipped? Or should I say I will pay only after they are shipped? I would only pay after they are shipped. You should never, ever, 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 ever pay for goods until they have shipped. At least my experience. I have had some real bad experience with manufacturers in the past, paying for entire orders and everything, and then it just never arrives, or it arrives, 10 months later. But it also depends, how much do you trust your manufacturer? Is this the only one that you can use for your product? There's a variety of factors here at the end of the day, but I typically would never pay until my products have been shipped. I know, happy Friday. I was selling a lot of my product in January and ended up ordering way too many units. I'm currently running a best deal, but it will expire. What's a good way to speed up sales without overspending on PPC? Price decrease, honestly, that's kind of your thing. So you have a best deal, that's fantastic, but price decrease is really your best option. I would also look at doing brand tailored promotions. So if you're not already, run as many of the brand tailored promotions as you possibly can, which, yes, technically is a price decrease in of itself, but the big thing with the brand tailored promotions is that you're targeting specific people to try and get them to buy. Oh, my shoulders are very tight today. Let's see, follow up. So asking Amazon for ASIN merge. If all content is the same, which parameters can I request Amazon to choose a particular ASIN, ranking, reviews, anything else? How long does merge take with support? UPC is the biggest thing. UPC, make sure they choose the correct UPC for the correct product, that they are also going to keep reviews, and that they are also going to keep ranking. So choose whichever ASIN, choose the UPC, and then make sure that they're going to keep reviews. Those are the big aspects at the end of the day. Everything else can be edited by you if they screw it up in some way. It takes a couple of weeks, 1 to 2 weeks usually. I need help. I don't have access to my previous phone number used for my Amazon seller account. Can't log in on any other device. Customer support has been no help. I am the bearer of bad news for you, unfortunately, because I'm going to tell you, you're not going to have a lot of success here. It's the unfortunate part. And it's why I tell people, do not use phone number for your Amazon account. Always use authentication code whenever possible, because you can always get the authentication code back, right? You can always get it back in some way, shape, or form. You cannot always get a phone number back. And the unfortunate part here is that what you could do, I would check, maybe, do you have your account logged in on your phone on the app? Because if you're logged in on the phone on the app, you can actually go in and you can change all of that data. Otherwise, it's really unfortunate. There's just not a lot you can do. And seller support is not going to be a help to you because they take this type of thing, account security, very, very, very seriously. Best way to decommission existing product which sells 5 pieces and replace with 4 pieces without sacrificing existing reviews. Same product, just one less piece in different packaging. Create a new listing, add them together in a parentage, and have the 4-piece be the only option for purchase, and don't have the 5-piece there anymore. That's going to be your best option at the end of the day, and you get to keep all your reviews, and you start to go off the success that the 5-piece was. 2 of 2. I didn't see the 1 of 2. Simon, let's see. Yeah, I'm not seeing a 1 of 2. Allow Amazon to buy my products to sell globally. NARF and Manage offers and other marketplaces are off. I'm hoping maybe my helper on the back end sees the 1 of 2. It's not coming through on my end though, Simon, unfortunately. So if you can re-put it in the chat, we'll get right to it. Yeah, he's not, my guy on the back end is not seeing it either. Okay, I know we have a trademarked word mark for one of our product names. Cool. How can I add this to brand registry associated with our brand? Brand registry says we cannot add any additional trademarks. Yeah, you can only create a new brand registry. So you cannot add it to the current brand registry, unfortunately, or the current registered brand or trademark. So I would just go through and create a new brand registry registered brand off of that word mark. The reality is I would question why you want to do this. I would assume for IP purposes, but as long as you already have that word trademarked in some capacity, that's all you really need to actually push the IP. Ricardo. Hi, Noah. How do you balance Amazon and e-commerce? I mean, on Amazon, price is a very important factor, but outside, like in e-commerce, okay, I assume you mean like Shopify, or sell products to companies, the price is not the most important factor. Yes and no. Price is always going to be the most important factor at the end consumer, right? I can't take these headphones and have them on Amazon for $75 and sell the exact same headphones for $400 on Shopify, right? So I can't do that. Price is always going to be a factor, no matter you're on Amazon, you're on Shopify, you're on Walmart. Price is a huge factor. That being said, the most important thing outside Amazon usually just comes down to getting people in the door. That's actually a lot harder outside Amazon because people aren't there, right? You have to attract customers. The only way to do that is through advertising. So essentially ranking really well with your ads and getting the right audience targeting. So that's usually what I'm going to say is like the most important factor outside of Amazon. And then he says, if I raise price on Amazon, I lose sale, but if I don't, I ruined my brand outside in the long term. What's the best strategies for a product? It costs 4x the most seller product in my niche. Amazon Lux works. Yeah, Amazon Luxury is okay, but the big thing is you have to show differentiation, right? So what is the purpose and what differentiates you from the people that are 4 times less expensive than your product? That's what really matters at the end of the day, is being differentiated from them. If you're selling the exact same product as someone else who is selling it for 4 times cheaper, you're just never going to win. That's just the truth at the end of the day. So make sure you actually have differentiation in your product. My well-known FF, I don't know what that means, but okay, said they made my shipment in time by April 9th by shipping it out by air on the 9th before the higher tariff kicked in. Since it was shipped out, tariffs increased 2x, and it arrived in the States without being hit with the increased tariff while in transit. We will see what happens with sea shipment that went out the same day. Yeah, so I've heard this type of thing before, Witchy, so far, and I'm hearing a lot of stories where essentially people are saying that things that were shipped out months ago and are just now arriving are getting hit with the tariffs. But they're also, I'm hearing people who shipped out months ago and they're just arriving and they're not hit with the tariff. I think the biggest aspect is that I don't think U.S. Customs knows. I don't think they know, right? Because we are literally changing it by the hour in some cases, right? The other day it went from 54% to 125% plus a 20% duties, right? So I don't think a lot of people know what's happening. I think the entire situation is going to be messed up. I think there are situations where people are going to fly under the radar, and it's just going to depend on who you are, what you have, and who's doing it, right? There's an entire chance that some people got hit with 125%, some people got hit with 54%. Some people got hit with the 20%, right? It realistically just comes down to, I think, luck at the draw at the moment, because things are changing too rapidly, right, for it to really take effect. We lost our transparency badge just in the US for some reason. How do we fix it? You have to go to the transparency program. So transparent, you can't work with seller support for this. You can only work with transparency, and that's what I would check on. Some super old listing images keep showing up in our listing. We think it's from our listing back in the days. Those images are nowhere to be found in Seller Central. How do we get rid of them? Yeah, so there's this thought that people have that if they change something on their listing, it's no longer in the back end of Seller Central, that it's just gone forever. And that's actually not the case. Amazon actually keeps all data. The most frequent annoying part of this is I've seen listings that used to have restricted keywords in them before they were restricted to keywords get taken down in this day and age because their history had the restricted keywords, and Amazon sees it on their end. So the unfortunate part here, Jeff, is the only real thing you can do is continuously update via flat file. You can submit a seller support ticket to have them check as to why it is that's popping up. But the only real thing is that I would check is make sure that your listing images are correct, essentially, and that they're not getting taken down or flagged for whatever reason. Jeff also says, we have a listing with a long history, 10 plus years, that was previously merged between two ASINs. Seems Amazon has completely removed the old ASIN and no longer have access to the ASIN. Yeah, so unfortunately, it's just that, essentially, where it's history. Amazon's backend is spaghetti code. And they keep everything. For some reason, they don't let you see edit history. They really should let you see edit history because they can see it, apparently. But yeah, it's an unfortunate situation where you just have to keep uploading flat files and have seller support update it. I've been running basic Amazon PPC for a year and now want to scale by increasing ad spend to boost daily sales. What's the best way to do this effectively? Update your budget first and foremost. Update your budget and then do day parting. It's the easiest thing. Secondarily to that, I would also look at new targets. So rather than just directly increasing your ad spend on current campaigns that are running effectively, create new campaigns, right? Do new targets. Try and expand outward before, it's the age-old thing, get a 1-inch hole a mile deep, right? Until you are a mile deep, don't try and create new holes. What about applying for awards to differentiate your product? Meh, it's very, very, very small conversion at the end of the day. I think that it depends, right, on what the award is, right? Are you actually getting anything that the end consumer cares about? Are you being featured on something, right? It's such a small conversion boost, though. They won't accept violations for that trademarked word without being brand registered as brand. But the item's name / word mark are not the brand associated. We have a competitor using that word mark. Oh, so you have to create a new brand registry. So you have to actually submit it still, Jay, as its own. You can't add it to the current brand registry you have. You have to submit it as its own trademark. Now, the issue is here, if you own the trademark, you could go the route of saying, screw you, brand registry, and just send a cease and desist. You can get one of those made up from a lawyer on Fiverr for $10, right? And they'll send it out for you. That could be an option that you go down here. Where are you, dude, today? I'm actually on a trip. I went up north. For those that don't know, I live in Michigan, and so I'm in northern Michigan right now. I'm on a lake, and I decided to hang out here, and I still wanted to see all this and do all this for you guys. So just emailed you about a potential client. Oh, cool. Thanks. I will. I'll check into that after the show here. And speaking of which, I'm ending the show a little early today. I do see you guys have a ton more questions and everything. I unfortunately have another call I have to go to at 1 o'clock in 5 minutes here. So we are going to call it a very short Friday live Q&A. That being said, if you guys still have questions, any issues or anything like that, feel free to send us a message. Go on over to myamazonguy.com and check us out. We have a live chat there as well that is actually a live agent. So if you ever have a question or ever have an issue on Amazon, feel free to reach out to us. If anyone ever wants, we also have a coaching page where we are adding, I believe, 4 or 5 new coaches outside of just myself. So if you have ever wanted an Amazon expert to help you one-on-one with any issues, go and book a coaching call. We'll have 4 new people from our team on there later today. And then as a final, next week, I am doing a 5-day listing challenge or just Amazon challenge in general. It's a webinar series. I'm going to be going live for an hour every single day next week. We'll put a little thing in the description or we'll put it in the chat right now going over that. But it's a 5-day Amazon challenge to grow your brand, grow on Amazon. Go and register for that. It will be a really fun time. I'm going to give homework every single day. So yeah, outside of that, hope everyone has a great weekend, great week ahead, and I will see you guys next week. Bye, everybody.